Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hussein bin Muhammad Iqbal, and for my part, I will present about analysis for our group project. And first of all, an indoor rower, often known as a rowing machine, is a machine that simulates the movement of watercraft rowing for the purpose of a style of rowing training. Next, for our group project, when utilizing a rowing machine, we have two main concepts can be classified, which is the first one is power transmission and second one is friction. For the power transmission, the process of efficiency transferring and transporting power from a power source to an output or load is referred to as power transfer. Next, a mechanical power transmission system that uses a bed to convey power between two spinning shafts is known as an open bed drive and also known as an open loop bed drive. And second one is the friction. And for the friction that apply in rowing machine, which is the inclined rowing machine seat. As you can see, uh, the inclined rowing machine seat free body diagram is shown in the figure above. And for the analysis for friction is as the way it's been pulled up, the total acting parallel to the plane is F1 minus F2, and the total equation is R equal to R1 plus R2. That's all for me, and I will pass to the next presenter.
My name is Muhammad Iskandar bin Muhammad Afaidi, and I will start off our presentation with the introduction. Friction is the obstacle to relative motion between two bodies in contact. The forces of friction is independent of the area of the surfaces in the contact and it's proportional to the applied load. The force of friction is responsible for the electromagnetic attraction between the charged particles inside the two surfaces of contact. As a result, relative motion between two contact surfaces where is slow degradation, loss, or displacement of material at solid surfaces. The flywheel is assumed to be revolving at a constant speed in this method, which disregards the work required to accelerate it. The purpose of this study is to look at any inaccuracies that could result from such an assumption. For our project, we utilize a rowing machine as figured above. An indoor rowing ergometer is the major training instrument used by rowers since it stimulates the movement pattern of the actual rowing strokes on the water. Friction-loaded cycle ergometer are widely used to quantify the amount of effort done during short, hard workout. Next are the background of case study. This study examines the fitness equipment that utilize belt friction and power transmission in its operation and system. Ergo machine was the fitness equipment that was selected to be examined in this study. The data for the study came from studies, journals, and previous theses. To ensure that all the details and information used in this research are accurate and applicable, all of the data will be evaluated and drawn from. The flywheel is one of the machine's friction-generating components, and the chains that connects it to the flywheel is used to transfer power. During the drive, finish and recovery phase is when the friction occurs and will directly lead to the second concept, which is power transmitting happening. That's all from me. Thank you. I will pass it to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Muhammad Adib and now I will present about literature review. First of all, there are several types of mechanical power transmissions such as shaft and couplings, power screws, gears and gear train, brakes and clutch, belts, rope and pulleys, and chains with sprockets. For rowing machine that we test is using belts, ropes and pulley mechanism. Belt drive is one of the common mechanisms used as it can employ a narrow inextensible band that causes two pulleys to transfer motion from one shaft to another. In essence, it is a flexible loop strip that mechanically connects the spinning shaft. So, therefore, mechanical and electrical power transfer are vital for the design of every technical product. For the following purpose, mechanical power transmission and its components are used for physical restriction to prevent the generation of power at the location where it is needed. So it can be transferred from the source to the location where it is needed. It can also be used to change direction and magnitudes at speed or torque, as well as the type of energy from rotational to linear and vice versa. Next is friction and wear. For friction and wear, friction is the tangential resistance to motion or opposing motion between two touching solid bodies. It is a system response rather than a material attribute. The friction force is a resistive tangential force that acts in the opposite direction to the direction of motion. The coefficient of friction is a dimensionless variable given by the ratio of two forces acting perpendicularly to the interface between the two bodies under relative motion or in relative motion. The frictional force experienced F with unit SI Newton and the normal load on the object W with a unit SI Newton. The loss of material is the most common definition of wear, but damage caused by material displacement on a given body with no net change in a weight or volume can also be considered wear. Wear is a system response that is influenced by operating conditions, not a material property. Wear occurs when asperities on two opposing surfaces in motion interact and friction after clinging together at only a few elevated points.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Aksan bin Muhammad Iqbal, and for my part, I will present about analysis for our group project. And first of all, an indoor rower, often known as a rowing machine, is a machine that simulates the movement of watercraft rowing for the purpose of a site of rowing training. Next, for our group project, when utilizing a rowing machine, we have two main concepts can be classified, which is the first one is power transmission and second one is friction. For the power transmission, the process of efficiency transferring and transporting power from a power source to an output or load is referred to as power transfer. Next, a mechanical power transmission system that uses a bed to convey power between two spinning shafts is known as an open bed drive and also known as an open loop bed drive. And second one is the friction. And for the friction that apply in rowing machine, which is the inclined rowing machine seat. As you can see, uh, the inclined rowing machine seat free body diagram is shown in the figure above. And for the analysis for friction is as the way it's been pulled up, the total acting parallel to the plane is F1 minus F2, and the total relation is R equal to R1 plus R2. That's all for me, and I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Afif Hassan. So I will explain about the calculation. First, the statement state the ergo machine has two pulley connection with a distance of 55 cm between the center pulley. Pulley diameter of 9 cm and 12 cm have been specified. Determine the appropriate bed length. First, using the formula of power transfer, we got that theta equal to 3.034 rad. The next step is find the appropriate bed length. Using the formula, we know that L equal to 176.14 cm. Next is calculation of friction. The statement said a sliding seat on a plane angled at 5 degrees horizontally. The human weight is 62 kg and the coefficient of friction is 0.4. Calculate the force required to simply make it move up the plane. So from the information we got that the value of weight is equal to 62 kg and the inclined plane equal to 5 degrees. The next step is we need to find the force to make it move up the plane. Using the formula of friction, we can find it that force equal to 307.3 Newton.
Next, I'm going to continue with the presentation for our discussion of our cases study. For our ergo machine, the concept of power transfer in our calculation can be applied in the chain and flywheel of the system. As shown in the figure above, the location of the flywheel is at the front of the machine and is connected by a chain drive. Based on our case study of our transfer, for which is also known as rowing machine, we first need to identify the suitable length of the belt for our ergo machine, which has two pulley connection with a 55 cm distance between the center pulleys. As a result for our calculations, we have successfully obtained the suitable length for the machine, which is 176.14 cm. The length of pen can be calculated using the formula of angle of contact, which is theta, and the length of belt. So, for the next case study, which is friction and wear analysis on our ergo machine, which this concept is applied on the sliding seat, as the seat will move backwards and forward following the user movement. It is figured out that the more force is applied on the sliding seat, this will affect the speed of the seat to move. For this, we have to compute the force required to make it sliding up to the plane, and an assumption is made for which the user weight is 62 kg and the W value is 608.22 Newton. As a result, the force required to make it slide up to the plane is 307.3 Newton. This can be calculated by first finding the reaction forces acting on the plane, and once the information are enough, we can substitute all the values into the formula, which is F1 minus F2 equals to mu in bracket R1 plus R2. That's all for our discussion. Moving on to the next presentation.
So, in conclusion, a rowing machine is a gym equipment with a concept of belting system which a person pull up a certain weight with their full force. Rowing machines are also fantastic example of power transmission using belt system and friction application. A rowing machine running belt is aided by the belt drive system. The open belt drive system is the most often used belt drive technology in a modern rowing machine. The open belt drive system is an appropriate solution since it is simple to build and has a low maintenance cost with more advantages compared to the old one that use chains and sprocket mechanism. It is ensured that the movement of the machine runs quietly and smoothly. Next, the open belt system is perfect for short range power and motion transfer. Furthermore, friction is the force that opposes motion when two distinct surfaces come into contact. In a machine, friction is defined as the force that opposes the motion of an internal component that is in use. Rowing machine can be enhanced in the future by adding additional larger gear to boost torque power. When the torque power is increased, the power transfer also improves. Other than that, to decrease the friction force between the sliding seat and the beam is by replacing sliding friction with rolling element friction, which is element bearings. With bearings, it also can improve the movement of the sliding seats, which led to low maintenance and less cost for repairing the machine. Lastly, this report can conclude that rowing machine, which is gym equipment, also apply a mechanic of machine concept to create a functional machine. So that's all from our group. Thank you for watching.